coast to coast. Andre Block Sr. and Jonathan Williams do not agree on politics, and they come from very different backgrounds. But they set out on this unity ride to prove everyone can find something to agree on, no matter how many differences they may have. Vlad Duthiers spoke with them after they finished their journey just this past week. Vlad, good morning again.
Good to see you again. So from Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon, and everywhere in between, these two men, a small business owner and a film student, have cycled nearly 3,000 miles across the United States in 6.5 weeks to bring attention to one important idea.
The Unity Ride kind of came out of that concept of, two people, different backgrounds, different skin color, different political leanings, just set a common goal, a lot can be accomplished.
So, Jonathan, what do you talk about when you're on these long rides together?
A little bit of everything. We do get into some very serious, heated conversations about a lot of things.
We talk about America. We talk about immigration.
Right, yes,
we talk about politics in general.
Right, yeah.
We talk about Black Lives Matter.
There are times when it's like, dude, I adamantly disagree with you. But there's a lot of times when we adamantly agree with one another.
The two Knoxville, Tennessee men became fast friends after meeting at a New Year's Eve party in 2015. They've since embarked on a cross-country journey together, not once, not twice, but 3 times.
DC, I think we talk about current issues, the road and the ride.
But 2020's ride carries even greater meaning for the duo. Have you found through your discussions that you've been able, in some ways, to change each other's minds about one particular thing?
As a white American, I don't necessarily understand some of the issues that Black America has with police today. First trip that we did together in 2017, Andre was a little bit ahead of me on the bike, and I came up behind him, and there was a police cruiser right around the corner that it basically was stalking Andre, and I didn't notice it. I didn't see it.
And I was scared.
But that's the first one that really made me realize that, hey, this is a true, legitimate reaction and a feeling that happens.
I just want to...
Yeah. So, this is an important assessment of what I've been talking about for a while. I don't want anybody coming up to me telling me, some goodwill story, some good humor story in a time of crisis. I got my pink on for October breast cancer awareness. That's like telling a woman who got breast cancer that who is facing her mortality, who's facing her death, that everything is going to be rosy and fine, instead of giving her the truth. That's like saying to somebody on the Titanic that, oh, it's sinking, but guess what? Don't worry, be happy. Come on, man. That thing with the 2 women, I'm not with that. That segment on CBS, that's exactly what I'm talking about that needs to be done. Black and white men need to sit down and get face to face and keep it real. You see what I mean? It can't be, well, it's nice and that. No, things ain't nice. This country's in a crisis. If we don't do something right about it right now, we're gonna sink like the Titanic. You see? And I'm thinking about my sons. I'm thinking about my daughters. I can't help you understand it any more than that. This special report is to let everybody know that there's a time and a place for everything. And this is not the time nor the place to be talking about things being rosy. If you're, my man didn't say he was a Trump supporter, and I appreciate that. Because if you're a Trump supporter, I'm not talking about policies. Damn the policies for a moment. Okay? I don't have a problem with a conservative policy. I don't have a problem with not having welfare or not having, or putting more people to work or cutting taxes, or you know what I mean. I'm on the stock market. Heck, I want, you know what I'm saying. I want my money to make money. I want you to be on the stock market too. Make your money. Whatever little bit you could put on there, I advise you to do that. Yeah, all of those things are gravy. All of those things is what the kind of things that I'm going to be talking about moving forward. But right now, you know, that's important now, you know, your money, make sure your money's right. But I'm talking about these feel-good stories. I ain't with that. I don't want to hear nothing about no feel-good story. I want to know if you're a Trump supporter, are you serious at this time? You know what I mean? Are you okay with somebody lying to you, cheating you like a child? I don't want people to know, 'cause I don't want them to panic. And now he got the virus, and oh, now I don't, you know what I mean? Don't be afraid of it. Wait a minute, man. You see what I'm saying? You can't have mixed messages from your leader. Your leader is supposed to be an even-tempered, thoughtful human being, at the very least. At the very most, I want my leader, my president, to be on the cusp of being a genius. Where at the same time, be able to break it down so that people can understand that are not highly educated. You don't have to use big words. You know what I mean? With somebody who's up in the boondocks or in the hood or something like that. Yeah, you know what I mean. You don't have to do that, but you do have to tell everybody, speak to them on a 6th grade level, 7th grade level. Hey, look, we got a disease. I mean, we got a virus, and it's potentially deadly. These are the things that we have to do to get through it. You know, not worried about my ego about, okay, it's going to hurt the economy. You know what I mean? It might hurt my chances of being reelected. Who gives a shit about that? You know what I'm saying? We're talking about people's lives here that you're rolling the dice with. You know, you rolled the dice when you said, oh, you know, it's a hoax, knowing full well it wasn't. But you figured that you could hold on to your base and maybe bring a couple of idiots along with you if you tell them it's a hoax, and then the virus might go away. Because that's what he was trying to do. See, he was hoping that he could say it was a hoax. Maybe a couple thousand people might die, and that would be it. But see, it turned on him. And because he didn't think about looking at the long-term ramifications of a disease like this, he put us under the bus as American citizens. He didn't think about us as human beings moving forward. He didn't think about the country as human. Heck, he didn't even think about your kids moving forward. You see what I'm saying? Because, okay, the children might not be affected, but their parents or their grandparents who could teach them or who could guide them, gone. Now, what does that do with a child's psyche? What does that do with a child's ability to be disciplined or a child's ability to make decisions in the future? You see what I'm saying? So all of those things and more are under threat. They become under threat. They are under threat now. Think about the 200,000 people died. 10 times that amount are affected by those people's deaths. For every one person that died, at least 10 people's lives were affected by that one person. Maybe 20 people's lives. Who knows? Or if they would have came up to that person in a day-to-day meeting and a smile might have helped that person, or a word of encouragement might have helped that person. You know what I mean? Or that person's action. Hey, they held a door, or they helped somebody. You know what I mean? Or they gave somebody something that affects people moving forward. 200,000 plus of those things are gone, just because the puppet decided to roll a dice with your life. Now, if you're still supporting that, there's something wrong with you.